Have you ever felt it? That quiet, nagging sense that you're spread too thin, that you're giving your best energy to everything and everyone except the person who needs it most. You. You've heard the command 1,000 times, focus on yourself. It sounds simple, but then life happens. The notifications flood in, the demands pile up. Your own mind becomes a crowded room of worries, plans, and other people's opinions. And that focused, powerful version of you feels just out of reach. What if the problem isn't a lack of willpower? What if it's a lack of mechanics? This isn't another lecture about hustle. This is an owner's manual for your attention. Welcome to the focused self. Over the next hours, we will move from feeling scattered to becoming strategically singular. You will not just be told to focus, you will be given the exact psychological tools and architectural plans to build a life where focus is your default state, not a fleeting moment of willpower. You will learn the neurological lie you've been told about multitasking and the one rule that changes everything. How to identify the 3 silent thieves that are stealing your time and energy every single day and how to lock them out. The identity loop, a way to rewire your habits so that showing up for yourself feels automatic, not exhausting. A practical system for deep work sprints that builds monumental progress in minimal protected time. How to build a personal noise filter so that opinions and drama bounce off you while valuable insight gets through. The focused comeback protocol, because falling off track is inevitable. Here's exactly how to get back on, without shame or lost momentum. This is a book about quality of attention. It's about learning to direct the most powerful resource you own, your focus, with the precision of a skilled craftsman. If you're ready to stop chasing a feeling and start building a system, if you're ready to trade exhaustion for execution and noise for clear, meaningful progress, then this is your blueprint. The journey to your most powerful, focused self begins now. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Single Beam. Your attention is not a floodlight. Let's start with a simple experiment. Try to think about 2 different specific things at the exact same time. Not one after the other, at the exact same time. Picture the front door of your home. See its color, the handle, the grain of the wood, or the style of the glass. Now, while holding that picture perfectly in your mind, also solve this. What is 17 times 23? You can't. You might flicker rapidly between the image and the calculation. You might get a blurred, vague sense of both, but you cannot hold 2 distinct, detailed thoughts in the center of your conscious awareness at once. The attempt feels like a mental stutter. This isn't a failure of your brain. It is the fundamental architecture of your attention. Your focus is not a wide, forgiving floodlight illuminating a whole backyard at once. It is a high-powered single beam, a spotlight, and it can only be pointed in one precise direction at any given moment. What we call multitasking, in truth, is rapid refocusing. It is the frantic work of a stagehand swinging that heavy spotlight from one actor to another over and over, and every single swing has a cost. Neuroscientists call this the switching tax. Every time you redirect your attention from your work report to a text message, from your child's story to a news headline, from your own goal to a colleague's drama, your brain must engage from one set of cognitive rules and load a completely different one. It closes one mental file and opens a completely different one. This process burns through your brain's fuel, glucose and oxygen, at a staggering rate. It creates neural debris that leaves you feeling mentally foggy and exhausted, even if you've been physically still. More importantly, each switch erodes the depth and quality of your focus. That initial, rich connection to a task is shattered. Returning to it isn't a simple matter of turning back. It's a process of rebuilding context, of finding the thread you dropped, of settling back into a flow that was forcibly interrupted. So, when the world tells you to focus on yourself, it is issuing a biological imperative. You must choose a single target for your spotlight, and you must defend that choice against a world designed to make it swing. Think of your mind as a dark, quiet theater. On the stage is the performance of your life, your growth, your peace, your deepest work. Your spotlight is meant to illuminate that stage, to follow the lead actor, you, as you move through the scenes you've chosen. But the audience is full of people with laser pointers. Some are harmless, many are not. The ping of a social media notification is a laser pointer. The invasive worry about a future problem is a laser pointer. The urge to check what someone else is doing instead of your own work is a laser pointer. Each one is a tiny, bright dot that pulls your eye, that hijacks your spotlight for a split second. The performance on stage doesn't stop, but now you're missing lines, the story becomes confusing, the emotional thread is lost. You are left watching a chaotic play of light and shadow, feeling distracted and dissatisfied, blaming yourself for not paying attention, when in fact you are paying attention to 100 little things that do not matter. The first step to focusing on yourself is not to try harder, it is to see the mechanics. For the rest of today, I want you to simply observe your spotlight. Don't try to control it, just watch it with curiosity. Notice what pulls it away from the stage of your own life. Is it a feeling of boredom, a spike of anxiety, a habit of seeking novelty, a fear of missing out? Don't judge the swing, just note the target. Ah, my spotlight just pulled to a worry about tomorrow's meeting. It just flickered over to my phone. You were learning the lay of the land in your own mind. You were identifying the laser pointers. Because you cannot master a force you do not first understand. And the most powerful force you possess, the one that builds or breaks your dreams, is the direction of your single, precious beam of attention. The focused self is not the one with the strongest will. It is the one with the most skilled aim. Chapter 2. The Three Thieves, where your energy really goes. You are now watching your spotlight. You're beginning to see how it swings, pulled by invisible strings. But to build a fortress for your focus, you must first know what you're defending it from. The enemies of your attention are not always loud or obvious. They are sophisticated thieves, dressed as necessities, as responsibilities, or even as small pleasures. There are three primary thieves. They don't steal your money or your possessions. They steal something far more valuable, your psychic energy, the very fuel your spotlight runs on. Meet them. Thief number 1, scattered time. This is the thief of busyness. It's the belief that a packed calendar equals a productive life. It's the meeting that could have been an email, the errand run at the worst possible hour, the quick check that becomes a 30-minute scroll. Scattered time convinces you that movement is progress. It has you swinging your spotlight frantically across a dozen tiny, meaningless tasks, leaving you exhausted at the end of the day with nothing of substance illuminated. You've spent energy, but you haven't invested it. You feel busy, but you are not focused. Thief number 2, absorbed drama. This is the thief of emotion. It is the compulsive consumption of other people's crises, on the news, on social media, in the office gossip circle. It is the personal habit of turning small setbacks into full-blown narratives of catastrophe. Absorbed drama tricks your nervous system into a perpetual low-grade emergency. It makes your reactor, that part of your engine from our other work, believe the world is a constant threat, demanding your spotlight's attention. Your energy is siphoned into a vortex of emotion that is not yours to solve, leaving little left for your own calm, purposeful work. Thief number 3, the approval-seeking reflex. This is the most insidious thief. It's the unconscious habit of pointing your spotlight outward to gauge the reactions of others, rather than inward to gauge your own alignment. It's pausing your work to see how many likes a post received. It's softening an opinion to avoid conflict. It's choosing a path because it looks impressive, not because it feels true. The approval-seeking reflex hands the control of your spotlight to an anonymous, ever-changing committee. Your energy is spent on performance, not on progress, on being seen, not on becoming. These three thieves often work as a team. Scattered time creates the feeling of overwhelm. Absorbed drama fills that overwhelmed space with anxiety, and the approval-seeking reflex promises a shortcut to relief. Just get validation from out there and you'll feel better. It's a cycle that leaves the stage of your own life dark and unattended. Your work this week is not to fight these thieves, it is to audit them. For 3 days, carry a small notepad or use your phone. Create 3 columns: scattered time, absorbed drama, approval seek. Throughout the day, when you feel your energy dip or when you catch your spotlight swinging wildly, pause. Ask, which thief is at work right now? Did you just spend 20 minutes reorganizing your desktop instead of writing the important email? That's scattered time. Note it. Did you just fall into a rabbit hole of news or social media conflict, feeling agitated afterward? That's absorbed drama. Log it. Did you rewrite a simple message 3 times to make it sound more impressive? That's the approval-seeking reflex. Mark it down. Do this not with self-criticism, but with the detached curiosity of a detective collecting evidence. You are not a bad person for having these thieves in your life. You are a human being in a modern world that actively cultivates them. By simply naming them, you begin to break their power. You bring them from the shadowy background of your habits into the clear light of your awareness. You are learning that focusing on yourself is not an abstract wish, it is a concrete transaction. It is the act of reclaiming your psychic energy, your spotlight's fuel, from these 3 thieves and reinvesting it with intention on the stage of your own growth. You cannot manage what you do not measure. Now you have begun to measure. Chapter 3. Your internal boardroom. Which voice is running the meeting? You've met the external thieves. You're learning to spot them in the act. But there is a more fundamental battle for your attention, and it happens not in the world, but in the quiet theater of your own mind. Imagine your consciousness as a boardroom. The agenda is simple. What do we focus on right now? Seated around this table are 3 distinct voices, each with a vote, each trying to seize the gavel and control the meeting. Your focus, the direction of that single spotlight, is their prize. Let's meet the board members. The first voice, the visionary. This is the CEO of your potential. The visionary speaks of the future. It sees the finished project, the stronger body, the peaceful mind, the meaningful life. Its language is about growth, integrity, and meaningful creation. It says, this is who we are becoming. The visionary wants to point the spotlight at the blueprints, at the next small strategic step. It is calm, clear, and future-focused, but its voice is often quiet, a steady hum beneath the noise. The second voice, the critic. This is the internal auditor, but one operating from a place of fear, not clarity. The critic's job is to point out risk, flaw, and potential failure. In its healthy form, it's a useful advisor, but in its unchecked state, it is a tyrant. It speaks in absolutes and catastrophes. You're going to fail. Who do you think you are? That last attempt was pathetic. The critic's goal is not improvement, it is paralysis. It wants to swing the spotlight onto every possible flaw, every past mistake, every reason to not even try, flooding the boardroom with the harsh, unforgiving light of shame. The third voice is the comfort seeker. This is the hedonist in residence. The comfort seeker's sole metric is the avoidance of present moment discomfort, boredom, effort, anxiety, uncertainty. It is the voice of the immediate escape. This is too hard. Let's just check our phone. Let's have a snap. Let's put it off till tomorrow. It doesn't argue with the visionary's goals, it simply offers a smoother, easier path right now. It wants to point the spotlight at the nearest, easiest source of dopamine, away from the effortful work on the stage. Most of our days are dictated by which of these three voices has the loudest microphone, which one has hijacked the meeting. When you are procrastinating, the comfort seeker has formed a temporary alliance with the critic. It's going to be hard and you'll probably do it badly, so let's just avoid it. When you are lost in anxiety and self-doubt, the critic has the floor, filibustering with doom. When you are moving with purpose and clarity, the visionary is calmly chairing the meeting, acknowledging the other voice's concerns, but keeping the agenda on track. Focusing on yourself is at its core the practice of strengthening the visionary's leadership. It is learning to recognize the distinct tone of each voice, not to silence the critic or the comfort seeker, they have their functions, but to put them in their proper roles, as advisors, not as chairpersons. Here is your first executive tool, the recognition protocol. The next time you feel stuck, distracted, or emotionally hijacked, pause. Ask, who is speaking in the boardroom right now? Is it the fearful, exaggerating tone of the critic? Name it. The critic has the floor. It's predicting failure. Is it the seductive, ease-promising whisper of the comfort seeker? Name it. The comfort seeker is lobbying for a distraction. Is it the quiet, steady pull towards something meaningful? That's the visionary. The visionary is suggesting we work on that proposal. You are not fighting a civil war in your mind. You are practicing skilled governance. You are learning that focus is not the absence of inner conflict. It is the ability to navigate that conflict and deliberately choose which advisor you will empower. Your attention follows authority. It's time to make the visionary the undisputed authority in the boardroom of your mind. Chapter 4. The Permission Barrier, the first wall you must tear down. You understand the thieves, you're learning to spot them in the act, but there is a massive, silent barrier that stops more people than any distraction or inner critic ever could. It is the wall we must dismantle before we can even begin to build. It is the permission barrier. This is the subconscious, deeply ingrained belief that focusing on yourself is a luxury, a selfish act, or a reward you must earn after you have tended to everyone and everything else. Think of the last time you thought, I should meditate, or I need to work on my business plan, or I want to just read and learn. Now recall the immediate, subtle feeling that followed. Was it a sense of guilt, a mental list of more urgent tasks, a whisper that said, maybe later, after you finish your real work?
That is the permission barrier in action. It is the psychological fence around the sacred ground of your own potential, and you have been conditioned to believe you need a key from someone else, society, your family, your boss, to unlock it. But here is the liberating truth. No one is coming to give you that key, and no one ever was. The barrier is not real. It is a story that says your worth is tied to your output for others, and that time spent on your own growth is time stolen from your duty. This story is the ultimate energy thief. It makes the very act of turning your spotlight inward feel like a transgression. So of course you get distracted. The external demands, the emails, the chores, the needs of others feel safer. They come with societal permission slips. Focusing on yourself feels dangerous because you're stepping outside the approved script. To become focused, you must first become sovereign. You must write your own permission slip. Tool: the sovereign permission slip. This is not an affirmation. It is a formal, conscious decree. You are the ruler of your own attention, and you are issuing an edict. Find a quiet moment. Take a physical piece of paper or open a blank note on your phone. Write this header: By my own authority, I hereby grant myself full and unconditional permission to... Then complete the sentence with the foundational focus you have been denying yourself. Be specific and radical in its simplicity. Spend the first 30 minutes of my day in quiet planning and learning without guilt. Invest money in a course that develops my skills. Say no to requests that drain my energy for my core priorities. Pursue a goal that others may not understand simply because it calls to me. Protect 1 hour each evening for deep work on my vision undisturbed. Read this slip aloud. Sign it. Place it where you will see it. This act is a neural event. You are firing the circuits of personal authority and dampening the circuits of seeking external validation. You are telling your nervous system, this focus is not a rebellion. It is my right. It is the main event. When the old guilt arises, and it will, you do not argue with it. You simply refer to the decree. My permission is already granted. This time is sanctioned. The meeting is adjourned. The permission barrier is made of paper mache. It looks solid, but it cannot withstand the direct, conscious breath of your own sovereignty. By granting yourself permission, you are not being selfish. You are being strategic. You are recognizing that a focused, growing, integrated you is not a smaller contributor to the world, but a vastly more powerful one. You cannot build a fortress for your focus on land you do not believe you own. Tear down the barrier. Claim the land. The first and most important investment of your attention is in the unshakable belief that you are allowed to have it. Chapter 5. Attention Architecture. Designing a distraction-resistant life. Permission is granted. The land is yours. Now we build. You would not expect to concentrate in the middle of a carnival. The blinking lights, the shouting, the constant movement, they are designed to capture your attention. Yet, many of us try to do our most important work in digital and mental environments that are psychological carnivals. Willpower is a terrible foundation for a focused life. It is a finite resource that depletes with use. Relying on it to ignore distractions is like trying to hold back a river with your bare hands. Eventually, you will tire, and the flood will win. The alternative is not to strengthen your hands, but to build a dam, to design your environment so that the river of distraction is redirected away from you, requiring little to no willpower to maintain your focus. This is attention architecture. It is the deliberate physical design of your time, your space, and your tools to make focused action the easiest, most default path, and distraction a difficult, deliberate choice. We build in 3 layers: time, space, and technology. Layer 1. The architecture of time, the focus block. The myth is that you need large, uninterrupted swaths of time. You don't. You need protected, intentional containers. The tool is the non-negotiable focus block. This is a pre-scheduled, sacred appointment with your spotlight. Start small. 25 minutes is perfect. During this block, your only task is a single predefined action from the visionary's agenda. The design. Use a physical timer. Tell others you are unreachable. This spot is not found time. It is designed time. Its walls are built by your calendar. You are the architect declaring this structure is for deep work. Nothing else may be built here. Layer 2. The architecture of space, the signal zone. Your environment sends constant signals to your brain. A cluttered desk signals chaos. A phone face up on that desk signals check me. So the tool is to create a dedicated, minimalist focus zone. This can be a specific chair, a cleared desk corner, a library carrel. This space should have one primary association: deep work. The design. Remove visual clutter. Have only the tools for your one task. Use a physical notepad for stray thoughts. Most crucially, make distractions physically inconvenient. If your phone is your nemesis, place it in another room before your focus block begins. You are not using willpower to resist it. You are using architecture to require a walk to retrieve it. Layer 3. The architecture of technology, the friction filter. Technology is engineered to be frictionless for distraction and friction-filled for focus. We must reverse this. The tool is strategic friction. Add deliberate, simple steps between you and your distractions. The design. Notifications. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Every ping is a laser pointer. Silence them at the source. Browser. Use website blockers during focus blocks. Make visiting social media or news sites require a conscious, effortful decision to disable the block. Phone. Create a focus mode that hides all non-essential apps. Move social media apps off your home screen and into folders with generic names like Tools. Increase the friction of mindless opening. The principle is simple. Make the right thing easy and the wrong thing hard. You are not fighting your distractible nature. You are befriending it by designing a world where your nature is guided effortlessly toward flow. When you sit in your focus zone during a focus block with your technology neutered, your spotlight has nowhere to swing but forward. The architecture holds it steady. Your practice this week is to build one single, simple piece of architecture. Choose one. Design one 25-minute focus block into your tomorrow's calendar. Name it, protect it. Create one minimalist focus zone. Clear the space, define it. Add one piece of friction. Delete one social media app from your phone or turn off all notifications for 1 hour each morning. Do not try to build the entire dam at once. Lay one brick. Feel the relief of that small structural support. You are moving from a life of resisting currents to a life of channeling them toward your own purpose. You are becoming the architect of your attention. Chapter 6. The Identity Loop. From I must to I am. We have built external structures, permission, architecture, blocks of time. These are the scaffolds. But a scaffold is temporary. It holds up the work while something more permanent is being built inside. That permanent structure is identity. Right now, you may be operating from the identity of someone who is trying to focus. This identity is exhausting. It is a constant battle. I must avoid distractions. I should be working. I have to resist my phone. This I must identity is powered by willpower and guilt. It is a weak engine. It stalls under pressure. Our goal is to forge a new foundational identity. I am a focused person. This is not a boast. It is a quiet internal fact. It is as fundamental to your sense of self as I am a person who brushes my teeth, or I am a person who is kind to my friends. You don't debate these. You don't need willpower for them. They are simply what you do because they are who you are. This shift from behavior change to identity change is the master key to sustainable focus. It is powered by a simple, powerful neurological process we call the identity loop. The loop has 3 stages. 1, the action, the focused choice. This is the small, deliberate behavior. It is not work for 8 hours. It is, during my 25-minute focus block, I wrote 3 sentences of my proposal. Or, when I felt the urge to scroll, I placed my phone in the other room and took 3 deep breaths instead. The action must be small, specific, and undeniable. The evidence, the story you tell. After you complete the action, you consciously narrate it through the lens of identity. You do not say, well, I finally did something. You say, this is what a focused person does. A focused person protects their deep work time. A focused person creates space for their priorities. A focused person redirects their attention with intention. This story is the crucial link. It transforms a single action from a fluke into a piece of evidence about your character. The reinforcement, the identity solidifies. Your brain collects this evidence. Each time you pair the action with
The loop is self-reinforcing. Action provides evidence, which strengthens the identity, which makes the next action more automatic. Your practice this week is to run one tiny identity loop per day. Choose one microscopic, focused action that is laughably easy. Close all your browser tabs except one. Write down your one most important task for the day. Sit in your focus zone for 5 minutes with a book. After you do it, pause and say to yourself, silently or out loud, the identity story. That's what a focused person does. Feel the difference. You are not checking a box on a productivity list. You are gathering evidence for the most important case you will ever build, the case for who you are. You are not trying to become focused. You are proving to yourself, through small, consistent actions, that you already are. The spotlight is not something you wrestle with. It is an extension of your being. And you are learning, step by step, to point it with the calm assurance of someone who knows exactly where they are going, because they have decided, at the deepest level, who they are. Chapter 7. Deep Work Sprints, the Engine of Monumental Progress. Identity is the bedrock. Now we construct the engine that will drive across it. You have your focus blocks, those protected containers of time, but what do you do inside them? The temptation is to use this precious architected time for shallow work, answering emails, organizing files, planning to plan. This is like using a surgeon's scalpel to slice bread. It works, but it wastes the tool's potential. The true power of a focus block is unlocked when you fill it with deep work. Deep work is not merely working hard. It is professional activity performed in a state of uninterrupted cognitive concentration that pushes your abilities to their limit. It is writing, coding, strategizing, designing, learning something difficult. It is mentally strenuous. It is also the source of all truly meaningful progress. Attempting deep work for 8 hours is a fantasy that leads to burnout, but doing it in short, intensely protected bursts is a superpower. We call these deep work sprints. A sprint is a fusion of your focus block architecture and your deepest cognitive capacity. Here is the protocol. 1. Define the single outcome. Before the timer starts, you must answer this with crystal clarity. At the end of this sprint, what will exist that does not exist now? Not work on project, but draft the introduction to the proposal, solve the bug in lines 47 through 62 of the code, complete the first 10 practice problems. The outcome must be concrete. Your spotlight needs a specific point on the stage to illuminate. 2. Prune all inputs. This is where your architecture serves you. Phone away, internet blocked if possible, notifications dead, physical notepad ready for rogue thoughts. You are creating a vacuum of possibility, where the only possible action is the deep work itself. 3. Work to the point of gentle strain. A sprint is not meant to be comfortable. You should feel the cognitive effort. This is the strain of lifting a mental weight. If it feels easy, you're likely in shallow water. The feeling of resistance is the signal that you are building new neural pathways, that you are at your growing edge. Embrace the strain. It is the feeling of strength under construction. 4. Stop at the bell. When your timer rings, you stop, even if you're in flow. This is critical. You are not mining until you're depleted. You are strength training. Athletes don't lift until their muscles fail. They lift with perfect form for a set period. Stopping while you still have mental energy does 2 things. It leaves you eager for the next sprint, and it teaches your brain that this intense focus is sustainable, not punishing. 5. Debrief with the identity loop. After the sprint, take 60 seconds. Breathe. Acknowledge the concrete outcome. Then attach the identity. I am someone who does deep, meaningful work. This is what I do. This closes the neurological loop, tying the effort directly to your core self. Start with one 25-minute deep work sprint per day. That is all. One single, undistracted, straining, productive push. You will be shocked by what one true sprint can accomplish compared to 4 hours of fractured, shallow effort. It is the difference between a laser and a light bulb. You are no longer just putting in time. You are installing a high-performance engine into the vehicle of your day. Each sprint is a piston firing, driving you forward with a force that scattered effort could never match. This is how you build a legacy, one focused, profound sprint at a time. Chapter 8. The Noise Filter, Processing the World Without Poison. You have built your inner sanctum. You can create silence and direct your spotlight with precision, but you do not live in a vacuum. The world is a constant broadcast of opinions, feedback, demands, and drama, what we call the noise. If your focused mind is a still, clear pool, the noise is everything trying to make a ripple. Some ripples are meaningful, a crucial piece of feedback, a loved one's need. Most are just debris tossed in, disturbing your surface for no reason. The goal is not to build a wall so high you hear nothing. That leads to isolation and blindness. The goal is to install a high-quality filter over your pool, a filter that lets essential nutrients through while keeping out the toxic sludge and meaningless chatter. This filter is a mental protocol with one core question: does this require my energy or just my attention? Most noise only wants your attention. Gossip, outrage news, most social media commentary, unsolicited opinions on your life choices. They scream for your spotlight, but have zero claim on your actual life energy. They are pure distraction, disguised as engagement. Your filter has 3 settings. Setting 1, delete. This is for toxic or irrelevant noise, the critic who offers no constructive path, the viral outrage cycle about something you cannot affect, the internal replay of a slight that changes nothing. Action, deliberately discard it. Name it, that's toxic noise, and deliberately redirect your thoughts. Do not debate it, do not analyze it, hit mental delete. Setting 2, defer. This is for noise that may be relevant, but is not relevant now. A request that falls outside your focus block, an interesting article sent during deep work, a problem that can be solved later. Action, capture it faithfully in a trusted system, a notepad, a task app, with a clear time to process it. Then release it from your mind. Your focus is a promise to return to it, but on your schedule. Setting 3, process. This is meaningful signal disguised as noise, the tough but fair feedback from a mentor, the concern of a caring friend, the data point that contradicts your plan. Action, schedule time to engage with it fully. Bring your full spotlight to it. Ask, what is the truth here? What can I learn? What, if anything, needs to change? This turns noise into fuel for growth. The skill is in rapid triage. When a ripple hits your pool, a critical comment, a worrying headline, a demanding message, you pause. You do not react. You filter. Does this require my energy? Is it a process item or just my attention, a delete or a defer? Your practice is to conduct a noise autopsy. Tonight, think of one piece of noise that disturbed you today, a comment, a news story, a worry. Walk it through the filter. Categorize it. Was it delete, defer, or process? Analyze the cost. How much mental space did it occupy? What focus did it displace? Plan the response. If it happens again, what is your filtered response? I'll consider that at 4 p.m. Let's discuss that in our meeting. By installing this filter, you achieve a profound shift. You are no longer a passive receiver bombarded by the world's broadcast. You become a skilled editor, choosing which signals get amplified, which get filed, and which get silenced. You protect the clarity of your pool. Your energy becomes yours to direct, not yours to lose. Chapter 9. The Energy Portfolio. Investing your focus where it grows. You have a filter for noise. You have an engine for deep work. But your ultimate resource, your attention, is still finite. How do you decide where to invest it? Most of us spend our focus like impulsive shoppers, giving it to whatever shouts loudest in the moment, the urgent email, the buzzing phone, the nagging worry. This leaves our true priorities, the quiet, important work of building a life starved of capital. It's time to become a strategic investor. Imagine your attention as your energy capital. It is the most valuable currency you possess. Every day you receive a fresh allocation, and every action you take is an investment of that capital. Poor investments drain your capital for little or negative return. Mindless scrolling, chronic worry, absorbing others' drama, perfectionism on unimportant tasks. Great investments compound your capital, generating returns in skill, peace, progress, and power. Deep work, strategic learning, genuine connection,
intentional rest. Your new practice is to manage an energy portfolio. This is a conscious framework for allocating your daily capital before the market of the day opens and tries to spend it for you. The portfolio has
2. Maintenance investments. Steady return, moderate cost. These are the necessary tasks of upkeep. Answering essential emails, managing finances, household chores, routine exercise. They don't build new wealth, but they prevent decay. The goal is to execute these with efficiency, not perfection, to preserve capital for growth. Batch them, schedule them. Do not let them bleed into your prime investment time. 3. Drain assets. Negative return drains capital. These are the thieves in disguise. The endless news cycle, social media comparison, unresolved resentment, pointless meetings, saying yes out of guilt. Your goal is to perform an audit and divest. Identify one drain asset this week. What small architectural change, a blocker, a rule, a prepare to no, can you implement to stop the capital leak? The daily ritual, portfolio review. Each morning before you touch your phone, take 5 minutes with a notepad. Ask, what is my one key growth investment for today? Define the single deep work sprint outcome. Ask, what maintenance must happen and when is its scheduled time? Ask, what is the primary drain I will guard against today and what is my defense? E.g., the drain is endless slack. My defense is checking it only at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. This is not a rigid to-do list. It is a capital allocation strategy. It shifts your mindset from what do I need to do to where will my energy create the greatest return. When a distraction arises, you no longer see a temptation, you see a poor investment opportunity. You evaluate it. Will this email give me a better return than my scheduled growth investment? No, it gets deferred. You are moving from being an employee of your impulses to the CEO of your energy. You are learning that focus isn't about doing more things, it's about doing more of the right things, the things that turn your limited daily capital into a compounding fortune of achievement and peace. Chapter 10. The Comeback Protocol, the Art of the Graceful Reset. You will have off days. You will schedule a deep work sprint and find your mind is a dusty attic of worries. You will set a boundary and then break it with a reflexive scroll. You will end a day realizing your energy portfolio was raided by distractions and you invested in nothing but drain assets. In the old story, this is failure. It is proof you lack discipline. It is the reason to give up tomorrow because you already ruined today. In our new story, this is data. Not about your character, but about your system. A plane off course by 1 degree doesn't crash, it recalculates and corrects. A comeback is not a desperate scramble back to a cliff you fell from, it is a calm, practiced recalibration. You need a comeback protocol, a pre-written, non-judgmental sequence to execute the moment you realize you've lost focus. It turns a crisis of willpower into a simple checklist. The 5-step comeback protocol. Step 1. The neutral statement. The very first move is to disarm the critic. Do not say, I messed up. Say, my focus has drifted. That's okay. This is a factual observation, like noticing the weather. It separates you from the event. You are not the drift. You are the observer of the drift. Step 2. The 60-second grounding. Do not try to think your way back. Return to the body. This is your anchor. Feel your feet flat on the floor. Take 3 breaths where the exhale is longer than the inhale. Name 3 things you can see in your immediate environment. You are resetting your physiological state from frantic to present. Step 3. The micro-commitment. Do not look at the mountain of lost time. Find the very next, smallest physical action you can take toward your intention. Not finish the report, but open the document, or even put my hands on the keyboard. Execute that one action. This is you proving to yourself that agency is still here,
now. Step 4. The environmental reset. Often, a drift is caused by a compromised architecture. Triage it. Close all unnecessary browser tabs. Put your phone in another room. Stand up and stretch for 30 seconds. You are not just restarting your mind, you are restarting your space. You are clearing the stage for your spotlight. Step 5. The scheduled continuation. Set a timer for a short, forgiving period, perhaps just 15 minutes. Commit to focused work only until the timer rings. This isn't a punishment, it's a bridge. It's saying, we don't have to save the whole day, we just have to do this for 15 minutes. More often than not, crossing that bridge reignites the momentum. Your practice is to write your personal comeback protocol on a note card. Keep it visible. The power of this protocol lies in its pre-existence. In the moment of frustration, you don't have to think. You don't have to make decisions. You simply follow your own pre-laid tracks back to focus. A master is not someone who never falls. A master is someone who has practiced getting up so many times it has become a seamless, graceful part of the dance. Your comeback protocol is that practice. It transforms setbacks from catastrophes into mere transitions, the blink of an eye between losing focus and choosing calmly to find it once more. Chapter 11. The Vision Anchor, when the fog rolls in. You have systems, you have protocols, you have architecture. These are the tools for the day-to-day work of focus, but there will be seasons, a week, a month, when the larger why grows dim. The daily sprints begin to feel like running on a treadmill. The noise feels louder. The energy portfolio feels like accounting drudgery. The fog of what is this all for rolls in and swallows your carefully built structures. This is not a failure of focus. It is a call for meaning. A system without a soul will eventually collapse under its own weight. The most powerful focusing tool in the world is not a timer or a blocker. It is a vision so clear and magnetic that it pulls your attention towards it effortlessly, like a gravitational force. Your vision is not a vague wish to be successful or be happy. It is a vivid, sensory-rich picture of the life you are building through your focused efforts. It is the anchor that holds your ship steady when the storms of distraction and doubt try to drift you off course. When the fog rolls in, you do not need more discipline. You need to see the shore again. Tool: the Living Vision Document. This is not something you write once and forget. It is a living, breathing document you revisit and refine. It has 3 core elements. The felt sense. Don't just describe what you want to have or do. Describe what you want to feel in your daily life as this focused person. Is it a sense of creative flow, the quiet pride of mastery, the calm confidence of financial security, the deep connection in your relationships? Name the core feeling. For example, I want to feel engaged and impactful in my work, not just busy. The vivid scene. Write 1 paragraph describing a specific, ideal moment in your future. Engage all the senses. It's a Wednesday morning. I'm sitting in my sunlit workspace, which is quiet and organized. I've just finished a deep work sprint on my book, and I feel the satisfying mental stretch of having written a difficult passage well. I feel calm and clear. I can smell my coffee. I have no frantic urge to check my phone because the work itself was fulfilling. Later, I'll meet a friend for a walk, fully present, because my work is contained and complete. This scene is your North Star. It's specific enough to be real. The core focus areas. Distill your vision into 3 to 4 key areas of life where your focused energy must be directed to make this scene real, e.g., creative work, physical vitality, financial freedom, nurturing relationships. These are not goals, but domains of attention. The practice is the ritual. Once a week, perhaps Sunday evening, spend 10 minutes with this document. Read it aloud. Don't just scan it, feel it. Let the described sensation wash over you. Then ask, did my focus this week pull me toward this vision or away from it? This is not a guilt trip, it's a compass check. When daily focus feels hard, return to the vision. It answers the question the critic loves to shout, "Why are you doing this?" You are doing it to feel engaged, not just busy. You are doing it to create a sunlit workspace of the mind, not a cluttered attic of anxiety. You are doing it to earn presence for yourself and the people you love. The vision anchor turns focus from a fight against distraction into a journey toward a destination you can almost taste. It provides the fuel that willpower never can. Keep your anchor polished and close. In the deepest fog, it is the one thing that will tell you with absolute certainty which way to point your spotlight. Chapter 12. The Integrated Focus. A life, not a project. We have come to the end of our blueprint. We began with a single beam of light in a chaotic theater. We met the thieves, governed the boardroom, wrote our own permission, and built architectures of time and space. We forged a new identity in the heat of small actions, learned to sprint, to filter noise, to invest.
It looks like this. You plan your energy portfolio not with rigidity, but with the flexible intelligence of a gardener tending a plot, knowing some days are for planting, growth, some for weeding, maintenance, and some just for letting the soil rest. When distraction arises, you don't feel guilt. You feel a mild, curious, and you deploy your filter or your comeback protocol with the ease of brushing a leaf from your shoulder. Your identity loop runs so quietly in the background that you no longer need to say the words. You simply are the person who, when faced with a procrastination trigger, naturally picks up the harder, more meaningful task. Your vision anchor is less a document you consult and more a subtle atmosphere you inhabit, a deep knowing of the direction you're headed, which makes 1,000 small decisions for you automatically. In this state, focusing on yourself ceases to be a project you work on. It becomes the ground you walk on. The spotlight is no longer a separate tool you struggle to aim. It has become an extension of your gaze. There will still be foggy days. Thieves will still scout the perimeter. The comfort seeker will still lobby for the couch. This is not failure. This is the human condition. The difference is that you now have a complete system. You have a map, tools, and the skills to use them. An off day is now just a brief weather pattern in the climate of a focused life. So what now? You close this book, you go live your life, you go to work, you love your people, you face challenges, and in all of it, you listen. You will hear the old, scattered patterns try to speak. And now, you will also hear the quiet, steady hum of your own integrated focus, a hum composed of permission, architecture, identity, and vision. It will guide you, not as a shout, but as a whisper, not as a command, but as your own deepest intelligence, finally audible above the noise. You are not just a person who can focus, you are a focused person. The rest of your life is the stage. The spotlight is yours. The performance is live. Go and shine it well.